right, so we in here. Boom. Episode 94. Episode
Yeah,
94. We got a great guest today. You already know what it is. I am Bunny Flocks. We plug in these websites. We're gonna do it every time until maybe we get tired
absolutely.
of it. I don't know, maybe never. Check out lucidperspective.com. That is
Mhm.
media, videos, websites, things of that nature. Cyberbunny.com is still in the works. I promise it's coming to you soon. Definitely by the end of this year. We got King Arthur in the building. Bro, what's going on?
Unify and Thrive, y'all. Don't forget it. Y'all know what time it is. Please, 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 is get scary out there, people. You got to unify in order to grow into. That's my message for this week, right? Unify and Thrive every week. Got the websites now. We use that tech. We're doing that computer literacy for the youth and for the young adults and everybody getting on board with this tech and AI thing. And don't forget, 2020 faces, man. I'm outside. I'm going with the people that I don't know how to bring them to me, but I know how to find them. You dig? That's what I'm on. Frank, what we got going on today?
We got Brittney Fulbright here. She's blessing the podcast. She is the CEO and owner of Old Taste and See Handcrafted Cakes. So, warning, I have not even eaten dinner yet. This day's been crazy. Then we about to talk about cake. So, if I start sweating, if I start drooling, that's what's going on. But thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate this. And our very first question we ask every guest when they first come on is, what was your figuring shit out moment? It's just a moment in time where you had an epiphany. You had some type of, you found something out and you change your life moving forward. Do you have a moment for us? Some people call it aha moment, but we're trying to coin figure shit out moment. So what you got for us?
Ooh, I feel like that's a loaded question, but
Um,
it actually happened this year, year 2024. So, just a little backstory. I started baking full time, in 2022 up until recently 2024. And it got to the point where I was burnt out, accepting every order, doing too many orders a week, just trying to fulfill everybody's needs. And it got to the point where I got burnt out. I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I started getting complaints like the quality wasn't there like it used to be because I was
mhm,
overloading my schedule and I was doing too much. So I had to have a real conversation with myself and be like, hey, you need to take a step back and reevaluate some things. Is the money worth your peace of mind? Is it worth you getting all these complaints about the quality of your work? So I feel like that was my moment where I had to sit back and figure some things out about where do I go from here? Learning how to pivot, learning how to listen to my customers, learning how to be like, okay, Brittany, you messed up. You need to figure out what's the next step in life. So right now, I decided to take a step back from baking full time. So I am part time. I did decide to get a part time 9 to 5 until I figure out what my next step is. And I'm sorry if I'm talking too much,
no, you're
just tell me
perfect.
to shut up. But also, during this process, I've learned that I'm more passionate about the teaching side of cake decorating. So I don't know if you guys follow my socials, but I have started back doing my one-on-one classes.
Mhm.
And eventually, that's what I want to do full time. But right now, I'm just really trying to figure out and make sure I'm in the right position I'm supposed to be in right now in life.
Right. No, that makes
Hmm.
sense. And that's what we do
Absolutely.
here at Figure Shit Out, right? We
Yeah.
talk with people that have figured shit out or figuring shit out and have things they're trying to figure out in the future, right? So
Right.
you jump towards in the middle of 2022 to 2024 where you're already in your cake business. But can you give us um were you always did you always want to be a baker? Were you always interested in cake? Did you watch Cake Boss? Like what inspired you to
Mm-hmm. Cake
start and
boss.
jump into the cake industry? Because I don't know that
Yeah.
much.
So I'm actually an alum of Norfolk State University, go Spartans.
Dope, dope.
I went to
Yeah.
school for finance, but clearly I'm not doing that. So I was pretty much obsessed with the show Cake Boss and Cupcake Wars. Those are my two shows I used to always
Mm-hmm.
watch on the Food Network channel. And I was like, hey, you know what? I bet I can do some of this stuff. So, I just started buying all type of cupcake kits and cake kits and just started practicing. Initially, I wasn't doing very well with the cakes, but I was really getting the handle on cupcake decorating. So, I started practicing, started sharing my work with family and friends, and they were like, yo, this is pretty dope. You should, try to turn this into a hustle. And that's pretty much what I did. It just kind of took off from there. And then during COVID, one of my friends was like, hey, do you make cakes yet? And I was like, nah, not yet. I'm still kind of scared to do it. She's like, well, my birthday's coming up, so I need you to figure it out. I was like, okay,
Hey,
girl.
Shout out to the friend.
I'll figure it out. Yes. And so our favorite show at the time was The Office. So I don't know if you guys watch that show. I'm kind of a nerd. So we both love The Office, and we're both really big fans of Steve Carell's character. So I made a
dark
cake.
humor.
Yeah, it's dark humor. So I made a cake with the Office theme, and it just kind of took off from there. She was so happy with it. She's like, yo, you need to stay on top of this. Like, I don't care how many errors you feel like you see with this cake, you're going somewhere with this. I was like, oh my
That is
gosh.
dope.
Okay.
That is
So
dope.
from there, I just kept pushing myself, learning more. I'm self-taught. YouTube University is pretty much where I learned everything, and it just kind of took off from there.
No, that's dope.
That's what's up.
Yeah, thank you.
When you mention Cake Boss, I used to watch Cake Boss. That was
Uh-huh.
my jam. And I like how
Yeah.
they, knowing how to bake is one thing, but then being an artist, it's almost like you also have to be, for the stuff they were making anyway, you got to be a sculpture artist. Because a lot of the
That too.
fondue stuff, you got to understand the layering and the
Mm-hmm.
volume. And like they can make statues and they make huge things and they'll make things that look
Yeah.
real and it's cake. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I thought that was always crazy. Cupcake Wars, I don't really know that much about. I'm not sure if I seen that. Is that where they make something and then you have to um make something and make it look like that? I'm probably
From
thinking of the
what I
wrong.
remember, because it's been a while since I watched it, I believe that they give you a set of ingredients and you have to come up with cupcake flavors based off of what they provide to you. Now, I don't know if it's changed because it's been like 5, 6 years since I watched it,
Okay.
and they may have changed it up, but yeah, pretty much they give you the supplies and you have to figure it out as you go.
Word.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I think when them shows find something good or that works, they don't change it up. Like who's guys grocery game, food truck race, they got 30 seasons. Right? They'll pump them bad boys out like it ain't nothing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You mentioned you got your degree in finances and you don't practice finances, right? So like and 90% of people who get a degree are in that field, right? Maybe it might be different nowadays with tech and whatnot because everybody wants a tech degree, but you said that you got kind of burnt out and need to take a step back because you were getting overwhelmed when you just taking all your orders. So the
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur in me is asking, like, did you not want to get help? Were you not able to hire help? What was your thought process with that?
Okay, so I do struggle with asking for help. Many people have asked me, why don't you just get an assistant? Well, my issue with that is I have to find the time to actually teach people what I need them to learn how to do because I'm very sensitive about my craft. And if my name is attached to it, it needs to be done right the first time around
Preach.
because I don't want to hear, oh, Brittney sold me this, Brittney sold me that. No, we're not playing that. So that's
Preach.
one thing that I do struggle with. But going forward, I am going to try to implement some things in my business to where I can maybe get some type of assistant to maybe take some of the pressure off. But right now, I'm not looking for any help. I'm just trying to navigate where I'm going because I had a person helping me out and it just didn't work the way I wanted it to. So I was like, I'm just going to put a halt on having any type of assistant until I figure out, what I'm doing.
Right. Or maybe
Okay.
not even with just an assistant, maybe like an extra baker or somebody who has experience or that knows how to
Right.
bake that can help take
Yeah.
on some of the orders. Um,
And then another thing I was concerned about was, people potentially stealing your ideas. What if they're just
mhm,
trying to use me to come up with their business?
mhm.
It's like, yeah, I just have to be careful.
It is now 2023, going on 2024. Why don't you have a VPN? Only for a limited time, go to piavpn.com/cyberbunny you could get 83% off the PIA VPN. What is a VPN? VPN is basically software that's used to hide an end user information such as IP address, location, private data they may be transferring over the internet, identifiable information such as their devices they're using from being spied on, from hackers, governments, internet service providers, anybody out there who wants to steal your data for their own personal gain. That's basically what a VPN does. If you want to take advantage of this discount, go to piavpn.com/cyberbunny. Go there now, sign up, tell them I sent you, get your software, get it installed on your laptops, on your mobile phones, on your tablets, any device that connects to the internet, get it installed on there. Get protected, go now. No, that's true though. That's facts. That's like an ego thing, and I've had that myself, especially when I was doing music. You know, when there's always that fear of somebody doing that, but it also hinders you because, like, instead of collaborating or building a team or building a business, you got that fear of they're gonna steal from me or they're gonna take my thing. And I get it. It's one of those things. It's a difficult thing to overcome. You know, especially if you're a closed off or like introvert like I am. You know what I mean? So I get that struggle. And I get the struggle of trying to find good help.
Yeah.
Because I am particular too. You know what I'm saying? Me and King could tell you we've had our issues with certain things. Not so much, recently, but it's one of those things. You like things to look a certain way, it needs to be a certain way, or it's just a standard of quality that you want to maintain. And when you bring other people in from outside, then you kind of risk that. It's not necessarily a risk, but there's a potential for it to get FUBAR, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was an area I was definitely struggling with. So I'm trying to hopefully overcome it by the end of this year. I've been, talking myself through it, doing some more research on how to go about getting an assistant or an extra baker or an extra decorator the correct way.
Right.
That's dope.
So I don't know. I heard that a lot, and I see both sides of it, right? Because I haven't had anybody that work with me take my idea, but I've had somebody see me and take my idea, right?
Okay.
And so it's never been from the person that I'm reaching out for help for, right? It's always been somebody that just sees. So like somebody see you doing cakes and like, oh, I want to do cakes. But it also on the same token is like, yeah, they may see you and want to imitate you, but it ain't Nike, right? It ain't Pepsi. It ain't Brittney Fulbright, right? They can do it like that, but it ain't got that same sauce or that same flair or oomph on it, right? So that's kind of my experience, right? So when people do try to imitate, I always say like I'm A-class celebrity. When they do it, it's fucking D-level Dollar General quality, right? And so I don't know, man. Hopefully you get over it because I'm sure you have opportunities for people that help you or that want to, grow and help you grow, So I don't know. That's just my thought on that.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah. And also one thing I experienced that not everybody has the same work ethic as me. And I'm not trying to find somebody that's exactly like me, but I just need somebody that is just willing to put the work in because this lifestyle, this entrepreneurship life is not just a regular 9 to 5. Sometimes you're working from 6 a.m. until midnight, sometimes after, especially if you have a large order that needs to be done. So I just need somebody that understands the hustle, and not everybody gets it. Everybody thinks that, entrepreneurship is, I can just wake up when I feel like it. I can go to brunch with my girlfriends and, sip on drinks throughout the day. No, it's not like that. We out here putting the work in. So
that's
right. No, that's facts.
Yeah.
I was thinking of what was it? So you said you was overwhelmed with orders. Well, let's talk about this. While you were in business full time and you was getting overwhelmed, and this is just for people who may be interested in getting a cake business, how lucrative is it? Like how much can you charge for what are the cake ranges? Like for the largest cake you've ever done, and then what's like a mid-range cake and what's like a low-tier cake? Like, because I know I'm assuming for wedding cakes, that's money.
Frank Rich, he'll buy a cake.
I mean, I'm not buying a cake anytime soon, but for a wedding, especially those ones that like could be like a few feet tall, like that's money,
Right.
right? So can you talk about how lucrative it is, or if what your experience with that was?
Yeah, so I do feel like the cake business is very lucrative if you know what you're doing. Initially, when I first started doing cakes, I'm pretty sure I was not making any money because I was selling like $50 custom cakes. And when you think about it now, that's just supplies right there. So it's like I
Right,
was going home
Okay.
with what, maybe $10, $15 after I finished an order. So I would say for my average custom cake, it's gonna start at about 200, with all the work that I put into it, and especially if I'm ordering custom supplies that I have to special order from Amazon or from a supplier that lives out of state. That's gonna cost some money. And then I would say for wedding cakes, you can make anything between $700 to $1,000, for a four-tier cake and possibly more, just
right,
based on what I just said, where the supplies are coming from. So if you're doing, I would say, let's say three tiered cakes a week, along with two single tiered cakes, you can easily make, 1,500, 2K a week if
right.
you are
Oh, that's
pricing
dope.
your stuff properly and you know what you're doing.
Oh shit. And
Yeah.
and
So how does
how? Go ahead,
I
because
think I
now
say
I'm
a
thinking
question, Frank. How
about
long does
making
it take to make
cakes.
cake?
Yeah.
Yeah, how long does it take to make cake?
So I have a system down. I try to do all my baking in the beginning of the week and freeze it, make sure everything stays fresh, and then throughout the week I'm assembling everything.
No,
So
Mm.
that's
I
good.
try to use my Mondays and my Tuesdays to bake everything, put it in the deep freezer, and then, Wednesday I'm, assembling stuff that's going out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, this is interesting because I don't know shit about shit. All right. I don't bake. I cook,
We're
you know what I'm
figuring shit
saying?
out.
I barbecue.
Hmm.
I do ribs and burgers and I'm on the grill. But to me, in my mind, when I think about baking a cake, you get the box joint at the store, you mix
Hmm.
some
Mm.
eggs and flour and maybe butter or whatever. You make the batter, you put it in the oven for 10, 15 minutes, and you frost it. And I've done that, and it's real quick, but of course the
Easy
quality is
money, yeah.
different. Right. I'm thinking if for $1,000 cake or like you said, 200, $700
How about
cake,
not getting no box cake?
bro, I mean, you know what I'm saying? This is a business podcast and we talk about we escaping the rat
Hmm.
race, trying to make money. I know with the
Right.
ingredients itself, probably like the base ingredients is probably not that much money, but I know when it comes to fondue and shaping shit and the sticks, and if somebody has an extravagant order, there's some real artwork and skill required to make what they want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not downplaying any of that, but I'm saying I'm sure there's hard times in making certain type of cakes. But I'm
Mm.
thinking profit margin, right? Go get a bunch of flour, go get all the ingredients, and then crank that shit out. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, I'm a dude. I don't really bake, so I'm sure I'm making it sound simpler than it actually is. But what is the profit margin on, let's say, $1,000 cake? What is the cost of the ingredients and the supplies that go into that? If you care to indulge that information, you don't have to, but just out of curiosity, you know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I feel like I'm still in a position where I may be undercharging myself just a little bit. But I
Mm,
would say I probably spend about 25% of that order, of whatever that cost is on that order, is probably about 25%.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it does fluctuate because, ads go up and down weekly, which is really
Ain't
crazy
it
to me.
though?
I don't understand it. I do
Right.
not understand
Ain't it
it.
though?
But it'd be simple things like that. With the holiday season coming up, butter is about to be stupid crazy, stupid high. Same
Right.
thing with cream cheese. It just depends on the season, to be
Yo, I'm
honest.
hungry. This is making me hungry right now. And
Frank,
then the
cut it
other
out.
thing, no, I didn't have dinner yet, bro. I told you we was hustling. The other thing is let's talk about types of cakes.
Hmm.
There's vegans out there. There are people that can't eat or eat milk, eggs, or whatever. They're allergic to certain things. Me, for example, um, my diet's all over the place, but like what are the options for a healthy cake if there's somebody who is cutting down on sugar, cutting down on fat, cutting down on milk? Like they want a cake, but they want their whole cake to be like vegan or healthy or super, organic. Is that an option? And how hard is it to do that?
So I don't like to classify myself as a vegan friendly or gluten free friendly baker because
Mm,
I don't want to get in trouble if something accidentally like gets cross contaminated. I don't want to
right.
be held responsible if somebody gets sick. So I do have friends that are vegan, so I will make something for them that is, specifically for them if they want something. But I do everything, full fat, full gluten, full
Milk and
sugar,
eggs, butter.
everything. Yeah. Yeah. I've
Okay.
tried to do the vegan route, but I'm just not about that life, to be honest. It was just too much work, too much to
Yeah.
figure out. I was like, I'm not vegan. So I will do it for friends if they really need a cake or just the fact that they appreciate my craft and they only want me to do it. I am willing to do the work for them. But for everyday customers, it's just not something I'm willing to do. Now,
Uh,
I will direct you to somebody I know of that knows how to do it, but just don't
right.
ask me.
That's
Okay,
what it
cool. That's
Yeah.
dope.
everybody got their own lane, man. Sound like you kind of
Yeah.
found yours, but then you
And
got kind
that's
of
when, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and that's one thing I had to learn this year about staying in my own lane. I don't have to do what everybody else is doing because I feel like I wasn't getting that same satisfaction. Like, I've made 3D cakes in the past for like maybe a Jordan shoe or like a purse or something. And it's like as dope as it came out, it's like this isn't really what I enjoy doing like that because I don't like projects that really stress me out like that. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
it turned out
Mm,
good, but I like what I like, and I'm learning that I don't have to accept every order just because somebody asked me to do it. If
No,
I
that's
know
true.
somebody else that's more passionate about making shoe cakes, I'll direct you to them. But for me, I think I'm kind of done with that part of my life.
Dope.
yeah,
Okay.
that's all I heard was outsourcing.
Yeah,
All I heard was you bake your price, you take your piece, let them make the cake, and you out of there. But
yeah.
so talk about how are you getting your word out about your cakes and marketing your cakes before to get you so much traction and so much attention that you were just like, I gotta take a step back.
Yeah. So when I first started, doing cupcakes in general, I was literally in my apartment complex putting flyers on people's cars, like when I first started. And I was doing that for
Ooh,
months at a time because I was still trying to build my social media pages, with my work. And I would even do free work, reaching out to people on Instagram, like, hey, I see you have an event coming up. I can donate some cupcakes. Like, I know you don't know me, but I can
mm,
donate some stuff to you. Let me know how you like it. I would drop off samples at beauty shops, barbershops, just anybody who was willing to take a chance on me. And I guess word got out about how great my work was. And I just kind of built myself from there. And also, excuse me, using my Instagram platform. So, constantly posting on my stories, constantly making reels, um, just trying to be out there a little bit more. Cause like you said, you're introverted. I'm very much introverted. I don't really like putting myself out there like that. But I know if I want my business to go somewhere and grow, I need to put
get out
myself
there.
out there. So yeah, I definitely had to stretch myself and just have faith that it's all going to work out. So just constantly posting myself and reaching out to, family and friends, asking them to share my stuff. And I don't know, just trying to put myself out there, but mainly social media, just constantly posting on social media. And
Yeah.
somebody that I follow, he said recently, it don't matter what it is, it's content. You need to post it. So I don't care
Uh,
if it's
Mm,
me just washing dishes, washing my cake pans at the end of the night. I'm gonna record it and post it so y'all can see what I go through at the end of the night.
that's
that's
So
fire.
that seems exactly what working is turning into now for everybody. Like, I mean, the
Right.
content creation space is blowing up. Everybody's doing it now. Everybody and their mama got a
Mm,
podcast, us included. Everybody's creating content, creating videos, putting things up. And it's almost a necessity, right? Because you we understand that the job market is changing. AI automation is pretty much taking everybody's job. And now it's like, okay, if I can't find work because robots are doing it, everybody's shifting over to, social media. And it's funny when you mentioned putting flyers in cars, I remember doing that back in my music days because we used to do that. We got kicked out of malls and stuff because we would go to the malls with flyers of our
Oh,
shows and, hold on, let me mute this. Go to malls, hand out flyers of our shows or our CDs or whatever. We did a military circle. We would even go, to the parking lot, put the flyers in the car, like you said, the windshields. And we got thrown out of places for doing that. So I don't know if that's legal. I mean, I guess the mall didn't like it, but it is what it is. It's like grassroots. You start from the bottom. You're trying to make a name for yourself. You got to do what you got to do. So that's dope that you mentioned social media.
Hi, I'm King Arthur, founder of Novel Views Tech, where we prepare children aged 10 to 17 for a future shaped by advanced technology. Our curriculum dives into fields like robotics, nanotechnology, quantum computing, and more. But what really brings learning to life are our bi-monthly, Exploring the Future of Technology, webinars, hosted by industry experts. These webinars aren't just lectures, they're interactive discussions that connect your child to the pulse of the tech world, creating a learning experience that goes beyond the classroom. We offer a money-back guarantee to ensure you're completely satisfied. Equip your child with the skills to not just adapt, but to innovate and lead in the future. Join us at Novel Views Tech and let's build their future today.
Let's talk about the classes. You said you're starting a school or some type of training program where is that like another venture outside of baking where you're trying to venture into a course building space?
yes, eventually I do want to open up a cake decorating school. Of course, it does require a lot of funding that I don't have right now, but right now I'm just doing the one-on-one classes. So I do have many ladies that reach out to me saying, "Hey, I love your work. I've been following you for a while. I just want to learn something. Even if you can't teach me all of it, just teach me something." So with all the requests I was getting, I was like, all right, Brittney, you can, step away a couple Saturdays a month and teach. So that is something that I started doing. And after the first class I had, I was like, yo, this is pretty dope. So I want to continue doing this. So after that, I did start to promote the cake decorating classes a little bit more. I would like to teach the younger girls how to, decorate cakes, but I just need the space so that I can do host multiple groups at a time instead of just doing the one-on-ones. But right now I'm just doing the one-on-one classes.
Okay, no, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
It's dope.
I just heard some lady, she was making t-shirts and custom designs on tumblers and whatnot, but her business ended up being teaching other people how to do that. Right, because she knew how to do it, she had to make money from it, but then she realized that people just wanted to come to her to learn how to do it, and that's kind of what I heard that you kind of want to do. You ever thought about, like I said earlier, I go where the people are. You ever thought about going to where the kids are, or like YMCA's and rec centers, and telling them, "Hey, I got a class, man. Let me teach your kids how to bake stuff."
Yeah, I have, and I've reached out to a couple of rec centers that are in the area, and I do need to push a little bit harder, but I just didn't hear anything back. So I was like, okay, I'll put that on hold for right now. But I think when I'm in a better position to where I'm ready to really teach full time, I'll probably push a little harder. But right now, I just didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it gonna take? What is it going to take for you to go back full time entrepreneuring again?
Well, right now I'm in the process of moving and buying a new house. Well,
Hey, that's dope.
I'm listing this house, and my new house will be ready in April. So during this time, it's just a lot going on. So I don't really have the time to dedicate to everything I want to do. But I'm hoping that by May of 2025, I'll be in a better position to where I can reach out more and be more dedicated to the youth ages, because I've had some ladies reach out saying, "Hey, my daughter has shown an interest in cake decorating. When are you going to be doing your group classes again?" And so this past summer, I've had some girls that wanted to do it, but not enough people signed up. So I was like, all right, let's try again next year. So I think 2025 may be the year I can actually host a group of teens decorating, cakes and everything like that.
That's dope. So how did you learn the day cake decorating part? Because I know baking is baking. If you know how to bake, you know how to bake. When it comes to design and colors and molding, is that harder, or did you have to go to like a specialized school, or like how did you learn how to do that part of cake decorating?
I'm actually self-taught with everything. I didn't go to school for, the color theory part of it, the learning
Mm,
how to mold everything. But YouTube was a very strong teacher with everything that I've learned. And also I'm very big on taking the initiative to figure out how to achieve a certain look. So I will go on Google, figure out, who has done this particular look before, how do I do this? And just kind of go from there, watching a video millions of times until I understand the concept so that I don't screw up this cake I'm about to make the next morning.
no, that's
So
huge.
yeah, just doing a lot of research. There's a lot of research, and you have to be very patient when it comes to cake decorating. You can't rush through an order because that's how you're gonna mess up, and you're
Hmm.
gonna see multiple errors throughout that order. So you have to take your time, do your research to, get the vision to allow the vision to come to fruition.
Manifest.
So
And I feel like there's some cakes and Cake Boss, you've seen some of these crazy ones on Cake Boss. It's almost like you got to be a mechanical engineer to come to like build something, one that won't collapse, that'll
mhm,
be strong enough to withstand, I guess, transportation or just, standing up. But it's like some of the cakes that he made on Cake Boss, like he'll get this crazy order of a huge ass statue or whatever, and it's like they got wood sticks in it, and they'll have like non-edible things inside
mhm,
to support the cake. So it's
yeah.
like I feel like you got to have some type of freaking engineering degree for that. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So can you talk about one of the hardest orders you received? Like, did somebody ask for something so extravagant that you pushed forward and tried your best and or succeeded? Or is that one of the stories you have where maybe it wasn't the best? Like, what you got for us?
Yeah. So real quick, back to what you were saying about making sure the cake is structured.
Mm,
That is definitely something you want to pay attention to because if you're making a tiered cake, even if it's not a tiered cake and it's just tall, you need to have all type of dowels inside of that cake, or else your cake will collapse during transport. And that was something I had to learn early on when that actually happened to me. When
oh,
my
story
cake
time.
fell, yes,
Oh, Jesus.
when my cake fell in the back of my vehicle, it was, for one, it was too hot back there. I didn't have the AC blasting like I should. And two, I used very cheap dowels that didn't support the cake. So that was something I had to learn from. Of course, I gave the person a full refund. I was embarrassed in that moment, but it's like, you know what, Brittney, going forward, you need to figure out what went wrong and how to fix it so it doesn't happen again. So luckily, I
Right.
haven't had any more issues with cakes collapsing. But back to what you were saying, um, I think the most extravagant order I've had was recently for a wedding, and it was actually on Thursday. That was probably the hardest cake I've ever done because it was just each piece had to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I had to be very meticulous with how I assembled the cake because there are very small details throughout the order.
Mm,
And there were times throughout the night where it's like, yo, is it really worth it? But I had to think about it like, if it was my wedding day, of course I would want the best. I had to put my mind in the bride's shoes. Like,
mhm.
what would the bride want to see? So
Was it a
after I
Bridezilla? You got a Bridezilla cake?
no, no, she was actually really sweet.
Okay.
But the order was just very detailed. And I was like, how am I gonna pull this off? But in the end, it all worked out. But I would probably never push myself to that level again because I was just so exhausted. I just feel like I wasn't really thinking clearly that whole week because I had not only the wedding cake order, but I had all these other orders on top of that. So I told myself I would probably never push myself to that level again. But yeah, that wedding cake turned out beautiful, but I don't want to have to do anything like that
And you put it in the back,
again.
you put it in the back seat with the AC on?
Look, I assembled that cake on site. I didn't want to risk any chances. Okay.
Ah,
Getting
okay.
smart.
I
She be
iced,
getting smart.
yes, I iced everything at home, decorated the different tiers at home. And then once I got to the venue, I pulled everything out and assembled it on site.
Ah, that's
That's what's
smart.
up.
I wouldn't have thought about that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
have
so
thought that.
I've learned that after a certain height, you don't ever want to travel with a cake fully assembled because somebody could be a butthole and break really hard in front of you, and that cake is gonna
Mm,
fly.
Hmm.
So
mm.
that I've learned, just if it's too tall, if you have to second guess yourself, just do it at the site. That's what I tell myself.
No, that's a bar.
Hear her talk is a whole lot of self awareness, right? Is a whole lot of I feeling overwhelmed. I'm not doing it no more. I learned this lesson, and I'm going to apply this lesson, right? I if it doesn't feel right, she said, if I got to second guess it, it's no, we're going to do it another way, right? Because I don't even want to take those chances to play those games. Talk about your self awareness and how you go about understanding yourself with making case and taking a step back and or how you're going to be moving forward.
Right. So I think I'm so self-aware because I don't want anybody to feel like they're giving me money and I'm doing a lousy job. So I have to think about that. Like, if it was my money, how would I feel if I was shoveling money out for a cake order and the outcome was a piece of crap? So I have to
Mm.
put myself in my customer's shoes. Like, what would they want to see? If I'm not willing to accept it, I have to understand that they're probably not going to be willing to accept it too. And
Right.
I've always been the type of person where I don't want to make anybody feel cheated or like they wasted their time with me.
Hmm.
So I've just always been that type of person, treat people the way you would want to be treated. That's something we've learned when we were kids. So
Supposed
that's
to.
just, yeah. That's something that I implement in my business, and anybody that has worked with me, they know that's how I've always conducted myself with a great sense of professionalism. Now, of course, if you push me to that level where you piss me off, you'll sit up beside of me. But I've just always been that self-aware individual that's going to carry herself with, a sense of class and professionalism. Because, like I said, my name is attached to this. I want this brand to go far. I want to pass it down to my children when that happens. And if my children's children want to inherit this as well,
Hey.
this is a brand. This is something I want to pass down. So everything that I do is going to be done in excellence. We're going to be self-aware. We're going to do the right thing. And if we F it up, at some point, just learn how to move forward,
Right.
apologize, move forward, and how to
Keep it
learn
going.
how to, do better the next time around.
That was gonna be my next question was, I know you say you're doing it part-time now, but you are gonna eventually go back full-time. And then building the business, right? So like you just said, you wanna build this out. You wanna make it a legacy business and you want to pass it down. And I think that's super dope. So um was it let me not mess this up. Old Taste and See handcrafted cakes. So
Mhm.
I know we're doing a podcast, we're gonna push and promote this, and you're part-time. So for our listeners and our audience, are you taking orders now? Is there like a certain, because we don't want to overwhelm you, with cake orders, but if they would
We'll
happen to
do
come
it.
your way, you know what I'm saying? How would you like, are you open for business right now? Or like, you know what I mean? Or are there certain cakes you're not doing? So it's like, you're not doing wedding cakes or you're not doing certain type of cakes, or like, how are you still taking orders in a part-time status? That's the question. I was trying to find it.
There you go.
Yeah, so I still accept orders. Usually, well, let me back up. When I was full time, I could do like same day orders, but right now, because my time is so limited, I need like a 4 week notice.
Hmm.
Only because I don't want to overbook myself and overwhelm myself and say, oh, yes, 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 I can do this, I can do that. And then when the week comes, like, dang, I gotta do all these orders. I'm tired. So yeah, I do ask for a 4 week notice, and I pretty much accept.
Are you saying 4 week or full week?
I'm sorry, 4 weeks.
4 weeks. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I wear aligners. I should have took
You're
these
fine.
out before I started.
No, you said.
I feel like I have
Okay.
the weirdest list with these in. But yeah, I do require 4 weeks for my orders. Now, of course, if somebody places an order and they're like, oh, things change, can I cancel? And I have an opening, like, hey, yeah, I have a last minute opening. I don't mind accepting the order.
Are you looking for a media agency that covers all the creative tasks that make a business successful? Lucid Perspective produces elegant, high-resolution graphics and logos, high-definition and 4K video, complete with treatment concepts and innovative editing. Lucid Perspective provides photography services such as fashion, advertisements, product or service, and aerial photography. We also help businesses build their brands from the ground up with complete campaigns that will make your business attractive to your target audience. We can bring your brand to the masses with our effective and strategic marketing campaigns to include sales funnels, eye-catching advertisements, breakthrough digital marketing through social media, and other digital avenues. Visit lucidperspective.com today.
And I feel like I'm pretty accommodating. Now, if I know that you want this, that, and the third, and I can't do it, I'm gonna just refer you to old girl that do great work, and she live down the street.
Yo,
but yeah,
that's perfect. So my birthday is in 4 weeks, and I don't know, but I'm on this new health tip thing.
I was
So
gonna say you're on a
yeah.
diet though.
No, it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle
Okay,
change.
it's not a diet.
Lord.
We don't use the diet word in
change.
this house. No diets. We change our lifestyle temporarily or until we temporary lifestyle. But no, that's dope. So if you're out there, you're watching, you want a cake, 4 weeks. How can people? Well, you want to do the closeout? You doing the closeout, or you have more questions? Or
Yeah. No, I ain't got more questions. I'm on her website right now though. What does it say again? Taste and see.
Oh, just talk about the Bible verse because I don't know. What's the Bible verse? Is it in the name or because we don't know?
It's Psalm 34:8. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. And honestly, that scripture came to me randomly, way before any of this even started. This was back when I had first graduated from college, and I was going through a weird stage in my life because, I just graduated, couldn't really find a job, doing odd jobs here and there, just feeling really down, just trying to figure out where I'm going with life. It's like, dang God, like I got this degree, trying to get a job, trying out here. But for real, that's how I felt. And I'm just trying to figure out what am I supposed to do with my life. And I don't know why, but that scripture was just really in my heart. And when I decided to, start the cupcake thing, that scripture, it just kept speaking to me. And I would just meditate on it. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to just name my business Old Taste and See. It's just a constant reminder that no matter what you're going through, He is good. So
that's dope.
And I want people to understand that anytime they reach out to me. And I always love it when older church ladies reach out to me. They're like, oh my goodness. Yes, they were like, "Oh my goodness, that's the scripture." I was like, "You got it." So yeah,
that's dope.
I was about to say, I know you kill him at the church.
Man, come on, yeah.
Go to the church parking lot and put the flyers in the church parking lot. Yeah, windshields. That'll be dope.
That was a good idea.
I'm saying I'm on the website and I see some of your cakes. They look really good. They look very creative, very unique. They stand out.
Thank you.
I like the Lego bucket. The Lego bucket. That's dope.
Yeah, you see it. It looks nice, bro. So I think you answered our last question though, because our final question is, what are you trying to figure out moving forward, right? And you did mention the teaching in the 101. Mm-hmm. So you got something you want to add to that? Something trying to figure out moving forward.
Yeah, going forward, I really do want to focus on building my cake decorating classes more, because I do feel like I put that to the side a little bit because I just wanted to make sure I was able to accommodate pushing my orders out. And now that everything is a little bit more peaceful, I can start accommodating those students that want to learn how to, decorate cakes and whatnot. But in 2025, I will, I do see myself being back full-time cake decorating once I'm settled in my new home. And by then, I'm hoping I'll have an assistant, somebody I can trust that can assist with, the tasks that I don't really care for, like the social media part, even something like that. I'll be
Administration,
grateful.
emails,
Yes,
taking orders.
administration. Yes,
Yeah,
it does take me a
it's a
while to
struggle.
respond to, all of the messages I get on this phone. My phone is always on D&D because it just can get overwhelming at times. But next year, yes, I do plan on being full-time again, teaching youth ages how to decorate cakes and, just continuing to build the brand. Eventually, I would like to see some of my products in different Black-owned restaurants. That is something that I have been working on this quarter. I actually have a meeting coming up soon. And hopefully one of my I made cheesecake too. I didn't advertise that, but
That's cake. I love cheesecake.
yeah, so hopefully
Jesus.
one of my cheesecakes will
hungry
be
over
in a
there.
Black
I
restaurant
am.
soon.
No, that's dope.
Yes.
Maybe by then I'll be off this lifestyle change and then
This
I
Yeah.
could
guy.
indulge in that. But no, that's dope.
funny.
So let us know what your website is and your socials for anybody that want to follow you. Check out the website, put in an order. What's your socials? I was looking for your Instagram. I don't think I saw it. Maybe you have it or maybe not.
Yeah, I
Talk
can
for a
start out
second.
with my website. My
Okay.
website is www.otastecupcakes.com. I haven't changed the website because so many people are already familiar with it from when I was making cupcakes. But yes, you will see my work when that pops up. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of that should be Old Taste and See handcrafted cakes. If it doesn't say that, it's probably Old Taste and See cakes. And it's OH. Sometimes people forget to add the H in there, but it's OH.
Okay, gotcha. I just hit okay, got you.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, yes,
And I
no.
wanted to, I'm sorry, I wanted to simplify my socials, but I don't really know how to simplify it without, cutting anything
It can get
off.
hard,
So
especially with long names. But
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Instagram is pretty simple. Old Taste and Sea Cakes. And then you said your website was Old Taste Cupcakes.
Cupcake.
Yeah, Old Taste Cupcakes.
Yeah, you generally, just a quick business tip, you kind of want them the same. You want them to be the same. But we can't even say that because we have Figure Shit Out and
Right.
Figuring Shit Out all over the place. Like our Instagram is
Yeah.
Figure Shit Out. I think the TikTok is Figuring Shit Out. The Twitter's Figuring Shit Out because we started making socials at the
Figure
same
Shit Out.
time. Yeah. So he was doing
Oh.
figure and I was doing figuring, and then it just went far from there.
Yeah.
But generally you want to keep them safe so they can find you on everything. But that's close enough, I think. Old Taste and See, and then Old Taste. I think you're good.
They'll find you.
Well, thank you so much. This is super dope. Now that we talked about cake so much, I need to go get some food.
Don't do it, Frank.
I'm not gonna touch cake.
Right.
We ain't got no cakes. We got fruits and vegetables now. That's what we got in here. So
Make you a strawberry cake.
we'll go to Wawa, get some cheesecake or something. I don't know.
Right.
Thank you so much. We will remember
Appreciate
4
you.
weeks. If it's before April, you're seeing this video, and it's before April 2025.
Mhm.
4 weeks. 4 weeks notice. After that, though, you might be back full time. So
Same day
Yes.
jammies. We claiming it for you. Same day cakes.
that'll be
Yes,
dope.
thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You have a good night, and we'll catch you on the other side.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Thank
All
you so
right.
much for having me. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.